Okay, so let us continue with the lathe processes. So let's go with turning. So this is the second part. Turning. Okay, ano ba pinagkaiba niya sa facing? Pagdating po kasi sa facing, gagamit ka ng mga feeds, automatic feeds, and yung mga cross slides na yan. Dito sa turning, ang gagawin mo dyan is manual feeding ng inyong workpiece. Turning, okay? Turning is the removal of the metal from the outer diameter of the rotating cylindrical workpiece. Okay? Turning is used to reduce the diameter of the workpiece, usually to a specified dimension. So, pareho lang siya ng facing. And to produce a smooth finish on the metal. Often, the workpiece will be turned so that the adjacent sections will have different diameters. So, magmamanual ka dito. Okay? Now, the process of turning, chucking the workpiece, the same with facing, lalagay mo ulit sa chuck, isi-secure mo siya, titignan mo kung sasakto ba muna siya dun sa chuck, okay, kung maganda yung kapit sa kanya ng chuck, if that is centered, okay, and then titignan mo naman yung haba niya is enough na yung pagkakaipit niya, or if you need to have it drilled dun sa dulo para lalagyan mo ng live center or dead center, contradicting dun sa inyong workpiece at iipitin mo dun sa inyong ang tawag dun? Tailstock. And then step 2, adjusting the tool bit. You adjust the tool bit enough that its edge will be touching the workpiece but not cutting the workpiece yet. Step 3, turning with hand feed. Okay? Yung turning with hand feed, mano-mano. And then step 4, turning with power feed. Sa hand feed kasi pwede mo ditong i-check yung depth of cut. Pwede mo din dito i-check yung speed of machine. Pwede mo din ditong i-check yung hardness of the workpiece. Yan. So, sir, anong kagandahan pag turning with hand feed? Turning with hand feed kasi, mararamdaman mo yung, ito mga sinasabi ko ito, mararamdaman mo. If the depth of cut is very deep, mangyayari magbabibrate yung makina mo and the tool post. Okay, ganun din. If the speed of machine is too fast, mangyayari is parang magaan lang yung yung cross feed mo. Magaan na pagpapasok doon, pailalim. And then, the hardness of the workpiece. Malalaman mo, umiinit yung iyong tooling pag hand feeding. Sir, hawakan ko ba yung tool? Hindi. Pero yung conduction of heat. Yung conduction of heat from the tool to your tool post. Malaman mo yun. Or, makikita mo rin kasi magliliparan yung chips. Kapag inaabot niya yung inyong braso, ibig sabihin, the speed of the machine is too fast. Or, if yung mga tumatama sa yung chips is mainit, ibig sabihin, hard yung makina mo and you need to slow down the machine. Ganun yun. Pag power feed ka, ang tawag dito is automatic feed. Automatic feed. Sir, anong kagandahan nito? Pwede mo siyang pakainan ng or mag-cutting ka ng automatic hanggang sa reach na yung dulo. Sir, meron po ba mga limit switch dyan? Karaniwan, merong limit switch. And when that limit switch is reached, hihinto yung makina mo. Okay? Hindi yung makina, hindi yung turning ng workpiece. But the cross feed or the entire carriage feed. Hihinto lang siya dun sa point na yon at pwede mo na uling batakin. You start with the starting position and then power feed ka ulit. So, gawain ng yan, sir? Gawain po ng mabilisan at tamad. And then, step 5, you measure the diameter. If that is close enough for you to do the finishing cut. So, slightly pareho siya dun sa iyong facing. Then, chucking the workpiece. Again, you chuck the workpiece. That the workpiece, yung pagkakachuck mo dito, yung iniipit mo sa chuck will be dapat 1/3 of the diameter of the workpiece. Okay? 1/3 of the diameter yung nakaipit dito. Or, simply, 1/4 of the length of the entire. Okay? Ngayon, kapag naman masyado ng mahaba, that is now the time you will introduce drilling the part where you can attach the tailstock with a live center. Now, sabi dito, a workpiece such as this, which is relatively short compared to its diameter, is stiff enough that we can safely turn it in the trio chuck. Ito yun. Kailangan 1/3 of the diameter. Okay, 1/3 of the diameter ba? Parang length, 1/3 of the length. Pero kapag malalaki talaga siya, 1/3 of the diameter yung kailangan pakainan mo. 1/3 of the diameter, yung length dito. Ngayon naman, 1/4 of the length kapag yung haba ng bed plate. Yun pala yun. For longer workpieces, ito yun, we would need to face the center drill. Ito, lalagyan mo dito ng center hole. Palalagyan mo ng center hole para meron kang pagkakapitan ng dead center or live center in the tailstock to support the workpiece. Ngayon, if this is enough, kung ganito lang naman ka-short, hindi mo na kailangan ng supporting attachments like dead center and live centers. Ano po bang ginagamit dito, sir, to drill this? Ang tawag dun is HSS center drills. Ano po ba yung center drill? Yung andulo nyo ganito. Funneling. Tapos andito yung cutting drill. Ayan. Ito yung dulo ng center drill. Ayan. Ito yung cutting andito. Itong dulong to. Sa center drill. Paki-search nyo na lang sa Google. And then, for the note on step 1, chucking the workpiece, insert the workpiece in the trio chuck and tighten down the jaws until they just start to grip the workpiece. Rotate the workpiece to ensure that it is seated evenly. Bakit, sir? Bakit mo i-rotate? Kasi, anong force yan kapag in-rotate mo yung trio chuck mo? Ito yung trio chuck mo eh. Anong force yan? Diba centripetal? Centripetal is center seeking. Centrifugal is center fleeing. Ibig sabihin, merong ang force dito. Kung saan, itatapon niya itong mga jaws mo. Ngayon, pag pinaikot mo yan, luluwag pa yan eh. Pag lumuwag yan, ibig sabihin, lagalaw pa yung workpiece mo. And then you need to, you need to tighten it up para ma-secure mo pa. Just for checking. And again, yung pagsalang sa trio chuck, kailangan 1/3 or 1/4 of the length ng inyong entire workpiece. Now, adjusting the tool bit. You adjust the tool bit such that the tool bit is touching. Okay? Will touch the workpiece without turning the workpiece. Okay? Or cutting the workpiece. Kailangan itatouch mo lang siya kung saan you will know where will be the starting position on your cross slide. Ngayon, pag nalaman mo na yon, you can mark it up with a chalk or a visible marker. Kung saan malalaman mo dun sa crossfeed mo. Ito. Post natin. Malalaman mo, kapag nailagay mo na siya malapit na dun sa inyong workpiece, mamarkahan mo dito kung saan sa crossfeed mo yung magiging starting position niya. Okay? Yun lang ibig sabihin yan. Choose a tool bit with a slightly rounded tip. Okay, yung rounded nose. Tip or nose, pareho lang yun. Tip, T-I-P, or nose. Yun ang tawag dito. This type of tool should produce a nice smooth finish. For more aggressive cutting, if you need to remove a lot of metal, you might choose a tool with sharper tip. Okay. Make sure that the tool is tightly clamped in the tool holder. So, this is for facing. Okay? Pag ang tool mo naman, ang dulo is nakaganon, that is for thread cutting. Okay? Pag ganyan ang tool mo, for thread cutting. For thread cut, pag ganyan. Paano naman sir kapag ganito yung dulo ng inyong cutting tool? Ayan. Andito yung cutting tool mo sa gitna. Ito yung cutting tool mo, ayan. This is for, nakalawit yan dulo eh. This is for boring. Pambutas. Okay? Now, for additional notes, adjust the angle of the tool holder so that the tool is approximately perpendicular to the side of the work. Dapat 90 degrees siya pag facing 90 degrees. Pag taper cutting, hindi na siya 90 degrees. Okay? Paano ba yung tinitaper? You create a funnel or a tip or edge. Because the front edge of the tool is ground at an angle, the left side of the tip should engage the work, but not the entire front edge of the tool. Makikita nyo dito, di ba naka-angle to? Burahin ko lang to ah. Makita nyo yung tip ng tool mo. Yan, i-trace natin. Saan ba yung maliwanag dito? Ito, dilaw. Makita nyo ito, naka-angle yan. Ayan, itong tip na ito, nakaganon yan. Okay, nakaganon. Ibig sabihin, okay, pag nag-cut ka, hindi yan lahat makakat. Itong part na to is enough or a spacing para yung mga chips mo hindi tumama dun sa iyong tooling. Kasi ang cutting mo dyan, this will be the part to cut it. Itong angle na ito. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin dyan. Now, number 3. Turning with hand feed. Sa hand feed nga, ang mangyayari is, malalaman mo yung feel of the machine. If the machine is vibrating, then you are speeding. Okay? Yung speed mo is too much. Kapag nag-vibrate yung machine. Speed is too much. Ngayon, kapag ang cut mo naman is napakaingay, speed is too much. Saan sir? Dun sa feed mo. Ang ginagawa mo dito, spindle speed. Ayan. Kapag nag-vibrate, vibration, spindle speed is too much. So, by experience to tinuturo ko sa inyo. Pag naka-experience ka ng vibration, spindle speed is too much. Pag naka-experience ka naman ng ingay or noise, either feed cross feed is fast or material is hard. Hard material. Yan. Yan ang malalaman sa hand feed mo. Kasi yung vibrations, tsaka yung mga noise niyan, and then kapag umiinit na yung mga chips na tumatama sa'yo, ibig sabihin, there is something wrong with your turning. Okay? And then you can manually adjust it before you go to power feeding. Now, advance the cross-slide crank. Yung, cross-slide crank. The cross-slide crank, ito yan. Ito. Cross. Ayan o, cross. Ito is the spindle speed, nandito. Spindle speed. Hindi pala yan. Ito yung yung galaw ng spindle mo. Okay, kung pabalik or advance or not. Hindi ko alam kung saan dito ina-advance yun. Ito ata. Kasi ito is automatic eh. Hindi siya hindi siya lever. Sa lever kasi may gearing diyan. O kaya naka VFD. Variable feed drive to. Tapos naka potentiometer lang. Okay? Ito yung sa cross feed to sa feed. Okay? Linear feed. Now, turn the carriage anvil clockwise to slow or move the carriage towards the headstock. Headstock. Ano yung headstock dyan, sir? The headstock is the one na nakakabit yung iyong chuck. Ayan. Ito yung headstock. Ito yung carriage papunta ron. Okay? Para lumapit siya. As the tool starts to cut in the metal, maintain a steady cranking. Ano ang kapangitan kapag hand feed? Okay, what are the cons of hand feed? Ayan. Kagandahan dito sa hand feed, nalalaman mo yung behavior of the machine, the characteristics of the material, or the behavior of the tool, if that is sharp or dull. Ngayon, ano yung cons? If those are the pros, what are the cons of hand feeding? Number 1, the cuts are uneven. Cut are uneven. Ano pa? Rough cuts. Hindi siya, makintab, makinis. Ano pa? You will not, unless, you will not make a perfect output. You will not make a perfect output unless talagang professional ka na. Okay? Now, turning with hand feed, it's difficult to get a smooth. Ayan ngayon, to get a smooth and even cut by turning by hand. Ibig sabihin, manual. Okay? Unless you are a seasoned machinist, talagang makukuha mo siya in one go. And then, number 4, turning with power feed. Pag turning in power feed, ibig sabihin, maganda yung finish niya. And then, ano mangyayari? Uniform yung cuts niya. Unless the tool breaks or magkaroon ng chip yung tool. Sometimes, there will come a time na yung tool mo is may ipitan yan ng mga rebaba or the chips. Kapag naipit dun sa tool mo, kumbaga nabubulunan sa tao. Kapag nabulunan yung tool mo, mababasag yung dulo ng iyong tool. And when that happens, yung cut mo papangit. Makikita mo naman yan eh. From here, okay? From here, ang kintab, ang kinis, okay? There will come a time na magkakaroon ka na parang, ba't merong linya? Yun pala, from that line, doon na nagsimula na magkaroon ng breakage yung iyong tool. Or nagkaroon siya ng sudden chipping. Ibig sabihin, nabasag. Now, turning with power feed will produce a much smoother and more even finish than is generally achievable by hand. Power feed is also a lot more convenient than hand cranking when you are making multiple passes. So, ibig sabihin, mas nakakaginhawa ito kasi automatic. Yan. For very long work pieces. Okay? So, napakahaba ng biyahe. In the term, sa machine shop, okay, anong tawag dyan? Biyahe ang trabaho. Ano ibig sabihin ng biyahe ang trabaho? Ibig sabihin, work piece is very long. Kaya parang ang bumiyahe kapag nagtrabaho niyan. What is the most convenient? You make it work with power feed. Sir, saan po ba nakukuha yung power feed? Okay. Going back. Yung power feed mo, meron ka ditong feed shaft. Okay, power feed shaft. Ibig sabihin, pag umiikot yung feed shaft na yun, itong carriage mo will automatically go to your chuck, towards your headstock. Automatically. So, ang trabaho mo is automatic lang, paulit-ulit lang, hanggang sa makuha niya yung limit switch. Pag tumama na sa limit switch, ayun na, mag-i-stop na siya. Okay? Now, turning with power feed. When cutting under power, you must be careful not to turn the tool into the chuck. Wag mong patatamain yung tool mo sa chuck. Yan yung sinasabi ko. Kasi once na na-damage mo yung chuck, hindi na katulad nung dati yung hindi na katulad yung dati ng performance ng iyon chuck. Mababawasan na yung kanyang gripping power. And kapag tumama yung tool mo dun sa chuck, anong unang masisira? Yung tool. Pangalawang masisira, yung gearing, yung transmission ng inyong carriage. And when all else fail, okay, kung lahat yan tinamaan, okay, mabilis yung makina mo, parang pumutok yan, parang bumangga. Ngayon, pag nagputukan yan, ang madadamage doon is the transmission gears. Okay? Doon masisira yun, yung mga transmission mo. Puputukan. Kaya pag narinig mo, diba, nagse-cellphone ka, kaya nga sinasabi ko, bawal mag-cellphone sa machine shop eh. Di mo nakita, narinig mo, boom! Pumutok, tak! Ganun. Ibig sabihin doon, meron na bali sa loob. It's either the shaft or a gear has been, the gear has been broken. This seems to happen to everyone at one time or another. Hindi naman kasi lahat ng machine shop hindi naman kasi lahat ng machine lathe, meron kang limit switch. Okay? But it can shatter the tool and damage the chuck and will probably ruin the workpiece. Yun yung pang-apat. Masira yung makina, masira mo yung tool, ang hirap kunin, okay? For non-seasoned machinists, ang hirap kunin ang perfect tool. Ang hirap maghasa ng perfect tool. Unless marami kang pera para bumili ng carbide inserts. Okay? I will discuss the inserts after the discussion ng lathe machines. Yung mga cutting tools. And measuring the diameter. So, after ng mga rough cutting ka using power feed and hand feeding, from time to time, kailangan mo pa rin i-measure yan. Hindi naman niya kagad na i-turn mo na ganito. Okay? Turn mo na ganito. There is no such perfect machine pagdating ng machine shop. Kasi araw-araw mong ginagamit yan. Parati mong ginagamit. Magkakaroon din yan discrepancy. Hindi naman kasi brand new yan habang ginagamit mo Hindi nagiging brand new yan. So, from time to time, parang tao yan, tumatanda. Pag tumatanda, mayroong mga lapses. Ibig sabihin, yung gawa mo, hindi perfect parati. So, you need to check it from time to time. Okay, kaya nga yung mga machinist, karaniwan, may mga OCD, Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. Kasi, they have to, kailangan mo maging meticuloso pagdating ng machining. Kasi, ang customer mo magagalit kapag hindi on point yung gawa mo. Meron time that your tool or your workpiece will be tapered. Kasi, bakit nagte-taper yan kahit diretso ang gawa mo? Kasi nga, yung machine mo is kailangan ng calibration. It is important to recognize that in a turning operation, each cutting pass removes twice the amount of the metal indicated. Bakit? Kasi, yung thickness ang kinukuha mo dyan, di ba? Sa thickness, ano bang formula ng thickness? Okay? Meron kang outer diameter, di ba? Tapos meron kang DI, inner diameter. Okay? Yung sa cut mo sa cut. And then, plus thickness. Twice yan ang thickness. Okay? Kasi, pag nag-pass through ka rito, ayan ito yung kakainin mo, di ba? Ito yung DO, outer diameter. Ayan. Ito yung nasa loob, inner diameter, DI. Ito yung thickness. Ayan thickness. Dalawang T. Yung dalawang thickness na yan, ibig sabihin, the thickness is twice. Okay? Yan yung natatanggal, twice of the diameter na nakukuha mo. Okay? DO minus DI over 2. Yan yung paliwanag dyan. Twice the amount of the metal indicated by the cross-slide. Feed divisions. Hindi lang naman yung kuwari, natanggalan mo to. Siyempre, yung natatanggalan buo. This is because you are reducing the radius of the workpiece by the indicated amount, which reduces the diameter by twice the amount. Ayan yung sinasabi ko. Therefore, when advancing the cross-slide of 10 hundredths of an inch, the diameter is reduced by 2 hundredths of an inch. So, twice parati yan kinakain niya. And when measuring the diameter, it should be self-evident that you should never attempt to measure the work when it is in motion. Oy! Yan pa. Safety Kailangan i-stop mo muna yung makina. Hindi mo pwedeng i-measure yan ng umiikot yan. Kasi, tignan nyo ito. I have here a vernier caliper. And this vernier caliper has sharp edges. Ayan, tignan nyo yung mga sharp edges niya. Ano mangyayari dyan? Nako, habang umiikot ang makina, pag ito nag-caught up doon sa makina, okay? Dahil sa friction, pang! It's either bungaon dito sa mukha mo dahil to mga mga sharp edges yan. Tumama dito, nako, tepok ka dyan. Ay, mga sharp edges yan, yung caliper mo. Nakakapatay ng tao to dahil this is a hard steel. Okay? Hindi to ordinaryong steel. This is a very hard steel. Okay? Pag to tumama dyan, tumama dito, baon yan. So, you should always be careful when using your tools. And you stop the machine, foot brake, okay? Safety brake, and then turn off the machine, okay? Tapos, measure ka. Hindi ka pwede mag-measure na umiikot ang machine. Sabi ko sa'yo, babaon sa'yo to. Okay? And that is very unsafe. Okay? Ayan, no? It may cause an accident. Okay? And I think that will be all for turning and tracing. Okay? And the next parts will be uploaded soon. I hope meron kayo napulot na bago, Always, alamin niyo yung mga sinabi ko dito. And you are good to go using the machine lathe. Okay? That will be all. Have a nice day.